Prologue. Located in a remote mountainous region far away from the rest of civilization, there's the ancient city of Yharnam. It's a gloomy city where the indigenous faith has given birth to prejudice, but it's also known as a center of ancient medical learning. Many bizarre secrets are hidden within its dark depths. However, the city is now affected by the horrifying epidemic commonly named the Plague of the Beast, and is now known as a cursed place. Those affected transform into hideous beasts. The citizens around are unaware that they too are afflicted. Even the so-called normal humans, rare in number, might have their own share of abnormalities to contend with deep down. Today, in the city of Yharnam, the beast hunt happens every night, and the streets are filled with the smell of blood, beasts, and death. There's a peculiar atmosphere as the crowd performing the beast hunt wander around the city. They walk around with bleary, confused eyes, with their weapons and torches in their hands. The beasts are great in strength and fast on foot. It is best to watch the beasts' movements and think of the best strategy on how to take them on. There are those that burn the bodies of huge beasts. A cruel feast unfolds under the beautiful moon, but what do these people have in common with the beasts? That answer is unknown at this very time. There are people who hunt down the beasts for a living. They are called hunters. Their equipment includes a unique weapon that has the shape of a saw mixed with a hatchet, as well as a shotgun to take down the beasts. Armor is obsolete, and so hunters use a different battle technique to fight their battles. The shotgun is used for faraway encounters, whilst their unique weapon is used for up-close battles. This is how the hunters fight. When the time comes to overcome dangerous situation, they must persevere to stay alive in many life and death struggles. From here on out, bet your life as your ghastly battle for your life will begin. The true Bloodborne starts here. Locations. Basic information. Headstones of Awakening. These are used to awaken at various places in the real world. Initially, you'll only be able to awake in Iosefka's clinic, but the list of places will increase as you discover new areas and light more lamps. The lamps in the early areas will generally be on the first Yharnam Headstone, but as you explore more, you'll open up options on the other ones higher up the stairs. Lamps. These serve as a means to transport back into Dreamworld. The Hunter's Dream. Once you rested, you can transport from Dreamworld to any lit lamp in Real World. Other functionality is checkpoint upon death. You are teleported back to the last lamp sat at. Treasures. These represent all items that can be, by default, looted within the area. Items that are part of the NPC storylines are not included, as well as dropped items by enemies and NPCs. Distant views will include all significant distance views of landmarks within the world of Yharnam. Main story locations: Hunter's Dream. The Hunter's Dream serves as a base where hunters can purchase items, upgrade their character, repair and upgrade weapons, and more. It's here that you'll find the doll and Gurman, a mysterious wheelchair-bound advisor. Use lanterns scattered around Yharnam to return to the Hunter's Dream at any time. When you die, the first time, you end up here. Connections: the Yharnam Headstone, the Frontier Headstone, the Unseen Headstone, and the Nightmare Headstone. Bath Messengers. Use echoes to buy items from the Bath Messengers or sell unneeded items. As the story progresses, additional items become available for sale. Buying items with insight. After gaining 1 insight, the messenger appears that offers to trade items for it. As the story progresses, additional items become available for purchase. Workshop. Use blood echoes alone to repair weapons, or in combination with fortification items to fortify weapons. Sufficient blood echoes and fortification items are required to make repairs and fortify weapons. After acquiring the Blood Gem Workshop tool, blood gems can be fused to and removed from weapons. Up to 3 blood gems can be fused to weapons, each having its own effect, such as improved attack or an increased chance of causing status afflictions. Storage. Items in the player inventory can be placed in storage. Each item in the player inventory is limited by a maximum capacity. Acquired items that exceed the maximum capacity for that item are automatically sent to storage. The icon next to the item you pick up will be a box indicating that it's going to storage. When you die, the game automatically replenishes your quicksilver bullets and blood vial supplies from your storage. Memory Altar. With the proper workshop tools, one can memorize Carol runes. Memorizing Carol runes yields various effects, including improved character stats and increased capacity for holding blood vials and quicksilver bullets. Altars. Makeshift altar. Offer items in a holy chalice and conduct a ritual to unseal a chalice dungeon. With a network connection, you can search for chalice dungeons unsealed by other players. As the story progresses, new types of chalice dungeons can be unsealed. Inspect the makeshift altar to automatically join an unsealed dungeon. In order to use makeshift altar, players need to acquire short root chalice item. Stump Messenger. Use the stump messengers to customize the appearance of messengers that appear in the field. After acquiring a messenger accessory, show it to the stump messengers, and thereafter all messengers will adorn that accessory. World Notes. Workshop Note. to escape this dreadful hunter's dream, halt the source of the spreading scourge of beasts, lest the night carry on forever. Workshop, German spot note. Ascend to Odin Chapel. Workshop, German spot note 2. A holy chalice is said to be enshrined in old Yharnam, sealed in the valley. Area bosses, German, the first hunter, and moon presence. Area NPCs, the doll, German, the bath messengers, the insight bath messengers, and the stump messengers. Important items, the notebook, beckoning bell, silencing blank, old hunter bell, eye of a blood-drunk hunter, Yharnam messenger hat, worn messenger top hat, messenger head bandage. Area insight. 1. Encounter German, the first hunter. 3. Defeat German, the first hunter. 5. Encounter moon presence. 5. Defeat moon presence. The Yharnam Headstone. This headstone includes the following locations: Iosefka's Clinic, Central Yharnam, Cathedral Ward, Upper Cathedral Ward, Altar of Despair, Healing Church Workshop, and Old Yharnam. I will now cover all of the locations in the Yharnam Headstone. Iosefka's Clinic. Bloodborne begins with the player character Hunter awakening in the first floor of Dr. Iosefka's clinic after receiving their very first blood ministration. Iosefka is the very first NPC that the Hunter can encounter in Bloodborne. After, the Hunter dies to the Scourge Beast, or uses the Central Yharnam lamp, and is sent to the Hunter's dream, returning with weaponry, making them a hunter. If the player travels back up the stairs toward the clinic, they will encounter the door locked and barred. Through a crack in the door, we can see a woman dressed in white, with whom we can speak with. Are you out on a hunt? Then I am very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Iosefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry, please. This is all that I can do. Iosefka will assist the hunter by providing them with their specially concentrated blood, capable of fully healing the hunter. The product of a slow and careful refinement process, this rare blood vial appears to be a clinic original. The hunter can return to Iosefka at any time to collect more blood, but can only carry a single vial at a time. This changes, however, after the death of Father Gascoigne. This time, when the hunter comes to Iosefka, there will be no blood vial provided. Instead, the doctor will ask the hunter to direct any individuals they come across to her clinic, so that they can be treated and cured. From this point onwards, Iosefka will ask the hunter to bring her more and more people, assuring that they are being taken proper care of. As a reward for the hunter, if the hunter begins to bring her people, she will eventually start providing the player with blue elixirs. Blue elixir is described as a dubious liquid medicine used in a strange experiment conducted by high ministers of the healing church. A rather chilling item indeed for a common blood ministration doctor to be carrying. But it isn't unless the hunter finds the back entrance to the clinic, accessible by climbing up an adjacent building connected to the Forbidden Woods, that the truth of Iosefka's research can be discovered. Here, the results of the research is discovered. Any NPCs that the hunter has sent here in the past to Iosefka's clinic be found, transformed and twisted into celestials, the blue-skinned kin of the cosmos. If the hunter sent nobody to the clinic, they will only find a single celestial located in the sick room. Upon its death, it drops one of Iosefka's blood vials, probably one that was being saved for the hunter upon the player's return. These are presumably the remains of the true Iosefka, whom the player meets at the beginning of the game. As the hunter travels upstairs toward the top of the clinic, one of two events will take place. If the hunter goes to the top of the clinic before the blood moon has risen, the imposter Iosefka will attack the hunter. She wields a threaded cane and a repeating pistol, and if her health is low enough, will even attack the hunter with a Call Beyond, the weapon of the healing church. If the hunter goes to the top of the clinic after the blood moon has risen, they will find her on all fours, perched on one of the operating tables. God, I'm nauseous. Have you ever felt this? It's progressing. I can see things. I knew it. I'm different. I'm no beast. Oh, God, if it feels awful. But it proves that I'm chosen, don't you see? How they writhe inside my head. It's rather rapturous. With enough time to conclude her research, Iosefka has begun her ascension. Killing her will give the player third umbilical cord. Connections: Iosefka's clinic to Central Yharnam. Forbidden Woods to Iosefka's clinic. Hidden path back to the clinic. NPCs: Blood Minister, Iosefka's clinic operating room. Iosefka, Iosefka's clinic operating room. Imposter Iosefka, Iosefka's clinic operating room. And Iosefka's clinic upstairs operating room. World notes: Iosefka's clinic operating room. Handwritten scrawl: seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Area progression: get the Cainhurst summons from the second floor operating room. Get the Communion Carol rune from the rear operating room. Return here during the blood moon and kill imposter Iosefka to get 1/3 of umbilical cord. Enemies and drops. Regular enemies: small celestial emissary. Drops: Iosefka's blood vial times 100%. Carrion crow. Drops: Pebble times 1, 6%. Pebble times 2, 3%. Blood Beast Pellet times 1, 0.5%. Strong enemies. Brain Sucker drops. Quicksilver Bullets times 4, 25%. Quicksilver Bullets times 3, 70%. Shaman Bone Blade times 1, 5%. Item Treasures. Blood Vial times 2. Inside the clinic, in a corner near the front entrance. Quicksilver Bullets times 10. A pile of graves in the clinic's courtyard, near the courtyard gate. Cold Blood Dew times 1, behind the graveyard gate. Madman's Knowledge times 1, against the wall near the ladder leading to the clinic rooftops. Cainhurst Summons. On the second floor operating room table the player character wakes up on at the start of the game will not appear until after Iosefka closes the door. Communion Carol Rune. Treasure chest in the clinic's rear operating room, in a shaft of light near the transformed celestial corpse. Area enemies. Small celestial emissary, non-respawning. Carrion Crow. Brain Sucker. Scourge Beast, start, non-respawning. Area NPCs. Iosefka, Imposter Iosefka, Blood Minister. Important items. Cainhurst Summons. Communion Carol Rune. Insight events. +1, entering clinic via the back door. Central Yharnam. Central Yharnam is home to imagery both terrifying and tranquil, with a complex network of crisscrossing roads, paths, and bridges. Home to blood administration and massive churches, Yharnam is haunted and yet, at times, disarmingly beautiful. City area with intricate mazes of bridges and structures in the center of Yharnam. Very large and complex, with many shortcuts and secret paths. Exploring and finding hidden routes is essential. Many of Yharnam's residents have locked themselves inside their homes of fear of the beasts. Connections. Iosefka's clinic to Central Yharnam. Central Yharnam to Cathedral Ward. NPCs. Lonely Old Woman, Central Yharnam, Canal Bridge. Young Girl and Older Sister, Central Yharnam, Canal Residence. Eileen the Crow, Central Yharnam, Dry Docks, and Central Yharnam, Tomb of Odin. Gilbert, Central Yharnam, Gilbert's House. General notes. The world of Yharnam is full of secrets and surprises waiting for the curious and careful hunter. Search every nook and cranny, and even listen for cues that might signal something or someone interesting. Many boxes, crates, and other objects can be destroyed, leading to hidden items to aid you in your quest, or even shortcuts and hidden areas with more to explore. Gilbert can be found in Gilbert's house right next to Cathedral Yharnam lamp. You can hear his coughing when nearby. If you are playing online and made it to the Cleric Beast, but were defeated, it's worth returning to the Hunter's Dream so that you can acquire the Beckoning Bell, if you have not already done so. When you then make your way back through the plaza, you'll notice a new, brightly lit message just to the side of the central fountain. A similar one can also be found just down the stairs from Gilbert's Gate, if you're coming from that direction. This message gives you the hint about using the bell to call for assistance if you're having trouble. Doing so will summon aid in the form of Father Gascoigne. From that point on, he will stay by your side until you either reach the canal area or face the Cleric Beast. He's a powerful ally, so once you have him at your side, it's well worth taking the time to lead him to any enemies that are still alive in the area, as he will help to dispatch them. This is especially worthwhile if you've yet to go through the bridge residence to unlock Gilbert's Gate. Henrik in Tomb of Odin. Old Hunter Henrik will be located in Tomb of Odin as part of the Eileen the Crow quest. Speak to her just outside Odin Chapel in Cathedral Ward after opening the gate to Round Plaza, before triggering the nighttime by examining the skull in the Grand Cathedral. And she'll tell you about Henrik, her current assassination target. If you head straight to Father Gascoigne boss area after Eileen warns you about Henrik, he will attack you immediately, and Irene will arrive halfway through the battle to assist you. If you reload the game after receiving Eileen's warning, she will already be fighting Henrik when you arrive. Sinister Bellringer. Online. The Bellringer is located at Dry Dock. Rafters inside the area with Eileen. When the Bellringer woman is present, various PvP invasions are possible. Old Hunter Alfred can be summoned by Gilbert's house down the stairs shortcut from Central Yharnam Lamp. You must have spoken with Alfred and agreed to cooperate with him. If you shift time into the night, Alfred moves to his new position outside the Forbidden Woods. His summon signs disappear and won't be available for the boss fight. Area progression. Pick up the torch in the plaza. Kill the Cleric Beast to acquire the Sword Hunter badge and gain insight to allow the character to level up in the Hunter's Dream. Enter the Dry Docks to acquire the Saw Spear. Get the Saw Hunter badge from the Boar Tunnel. Kill Father Gascoigne to acquire Odin Tomb Key so you can reach the Cathedral Ward. Open the chest at the end of the chapel path to get the Blood Gem Workshop tool. World changes. Cleric Beast defeated. Gain insight to awaken the doll and allow the character leveling. Great Bridge Lamp is activated. Father Gascoigne defeated. Tomb of Odin lamp is activated. Gain access to Cathedral Ward. The Insight Trade Shop opens up in the Hunter's Dream. World Notes. Central Yharnam, Bridge Residence. When the hunt began, the Healing Church left us, blocking the Great Bridge to Cathedral Ward, as old Arnhem burned to the ground that moonlit night. Central Yharnam, Odin Chapel basement. The Björgenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. Enemies. Regular enemies. Huntsman, torch and axe. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 21%. Quicksilver bullets times 2, 10%. Molotov cocktail times 1, 5%. Huntsman, torch and shield. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 21%. Quicksilver bullets times 2, 10%. Molotov cocktail times 1, 5%. Huntsman, sickle. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 8%. Huntsman, cleaver. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 8%. Huntsman, cutlass. Drops. Blood vial times 2, 32%. Huntsman, pitchfork. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 8%. Huntsman, rifle. Drops. Quicksilver bullets times 3, 100%. Wheelchair huntsman. Pistol. Drops. Quicksilver bullet times 4, 100%. Rabid dog. No drops. Carrion crow. Drops. Pebble times 1, 6%. Pebble times 2, 3%. Antidote times 1, 1%. Large huntsman. Torch and saw. Drops. Blood vial times 2, 79%. Bloodstone shard times 1, 16%. Oil urn times 1, 5%. Large huntsman. Spear. Drops. Blood vial times 2, 79%. Bloodstone shard times 1, 16%. Oil urn times 1, 5%. Labyrinth rat. Drops. Throwing knife times 2, 5%. Throwing knife times 1, 15%. Rotted corpse. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 20%. Bold hunter's mark times 1, 2%. Strong enemies. Scourge beast. Drops. Blood vial times 3, 92%. Bloodstone shard times 1, 8%. Huntsman's minion. Brick. Blood vial times 4, 5%. Blood vial times 2, 85%. Shining coins times 3, 5%. Shining coins times 2, 5%. Executioner. Random gem based on area times 1, 20%. Blood vial times 4, 24%. Blood vial times 3, 52%. Pungent blood cocktail times 1, 4%. Man-eater boar. Blood vial times 4, 20%. Blood vial times 2, 80%. Item treasures. Blood vial times 4, down the small set of steps opposite the clinic's courtyard gate. Blood vial ×2. Next to the lever that activates the ladder leading to Gilbert's house. Molotov cocktail ×6. Near the two sleeping huntsmen across from the lever. Obscured by a pile of destructible boxes. Pebble ×8. On the way from Gilbert's house to the overpass. Molotov cocktail ×4. Drop down through the gap in the railing on the overpass facing the burning beast patient. Check in between the burning beast patient and the well. Bloodstone Shard ×1. Go up the wagon stairs, then up the next set of stairs to the dead end. Quicksilver bullets ×5. Go up the wagon stairs and follow the path through the Hunter's Flame. They are in an alcove on the way to the Silent Stairs. Cold Blood Dew ×1. As you approach the Hunter's Flame, take the first set of stairs on the left before the huntsman with the rifle. It's in the corner. Blood vial ×2. On the corpse lumped against the fence as you enter the plaza from the main street. Bloodstone Shard ×1. Obscured by a pile of crates on the left where you first enter the plaza from the main street. Blood vial ×2. At the rumbling gate behind the Hunter's Flame. Molotov cocktail ×4. Near the huntsman's minion bashing on the gate in the plaza. Torch. Near the huntsman's minion bashing on the gate in the plaza. Oil urn ×2. In the pile of coffins and boxes behind the fountain in the plaza, surrounded by carrion crows. Cold Blood Dew ×1. Near the small, non-interactable gate facing the Silent Stairs. Blood vial ×6. On the bench behind the well, you pass by while traveling from the plaza to the Great Bridge. Bloodstone Shard ×1. When entering the Great Bridge from the plaza, face away from the two Scourge beasts and check the pile of ruined carriages blocking off the end. Bloodstone Shard ×1. Behind the pile of destructible boxes in the dead end, near Main Street Overlook. Pebble ×10. The bridge at Main Street Overlook. Bloodstone Shard ×1. Behind the pile of destructible boxes connecting Main Street Overlook to the aqueduct. Cold Blood Dew ×1. Top floor of bridge residence. Pungent blood cocktail ×2. Bottom floor of bridge residence. In front of the cabinet with the note. Cold Blood Dew ×1. In the pile of rubble on the top of the crumbled stairs. Quicksilver bullets ×10. A body on the Great Bridge, near where the cleric beast jumps down. Bloodstone Shard ×1. The body slumped against the wall on the path between Bridge Residence and Gilbert's Gate. Cold Blood Dew ×1. On the path from the dog kennels to Dry Dock. Turn just before Canal Bridge and check the small side path. Cold Blood Dew ×1. dry docks, rafters. Against the wall opposite to the path to Eileen. Bloodstone Shard ×2. Cut down the hanging corpse in dry docks, rafters. Closest to Eileen's location, it will drop below to dry docks, lower floor, and the item can be collected. Saw spear. On same body as previous. Cold blood dew ×1. Dry dock, upper floor. Behind the pillar in the side opposite the stairs leading down to Canal Bridge. Madman's knowledge ×1. The dead end at the dry docks, lower floor canal. Behind the 2 labyrinth rats. Cold blood dew ×1. The dead end in canal walkways, where the large huntsman patrols. Oil urn ×2. Path from the Cathedral Ward to the canal, obscured behind some destructible coffins and a pair of carrion crows. Bloodstone Shard ×1. As you approach the canal from the canal walkways, drop onto the final beam before the bridge. Quicksilver bullets ×10. In the middle of the 7 rotted corpses in the canal, Madman's knowledge ×1. The dead end near the canal residence, behind the carrion crows. Hunter's set. Just before the long drop from the aqueduct to the canal, near the large huntsman. Thick cold blood ×1. As you approach the canal from aqueduct, drop on to the final rafter. Bloodstone Shard ×1. After taking the stairs down from canal exit, go into the small alcove between Boar Tunnel. It is behind a rotted corpse. Cold blood dew ×1. Boar Tunnel, near the man-eater boar. Saw hunter badge. Boar Tunnel, near the man-eater boar. Bold hunter's mark ×2. On the statue with 2 large huntsmen facing it, just prior to the tomb of Odin. Red jeweled brooch. The body on the mausoleum roof in Tomb of Odin, reached by dropping down from the pathway at the top of the stairs. Blood gem workshop tool. The treasure chest by the spiral staircase leading to Odin Chapel. Area highlights. Bosses. Cleric Beast. Father Gascoigne. Enemies. Huntsman, torch and axe. Huntsman, torch and shield. Huntsman, sickle. Huntsman, cleaver. Huntsman, cutlass. Huntsman, pitchfork. Huntsman, rifle. Wheelchair huntsman, pistol. Rabid dog. Carrion crow. Large huntsman, torch and saw. Large huntsman, spear. Labyrinth rat. Rotted corpse. Scourge beast. Huntsman's minion, brick. Huntsman's minion, statue. Executioner. Man-eater boar. NPCs. Gilbert. Eileen the Crow. Young girl and older sister. Lonely old woman. Important items. Blood gem workshop tool. Bloodstone Shard, Torch, Saw Spear, Hunter Set, Saw Hunter Badge, Red Jeweled Brooch. Insight Events. +1 Insight. Encounter the Cleric Beast. +3. Defeat the Cleric Beast. +1. Encounter Father Gascoigne. +1. Witness Father Gascoigne's transformation. +2. Defeat Father Gascoigne. The Cathedral Ward. Across the valley to the east of Yharnam lies the town of the Healing Church, known as the Cathedral Ward, and deep within the Cathedral Ward is the old Grand Cathedral, the birthplace of the Healing Church's special blood, or so they say. Connections: Central Yharnam to Cathedral Ward, Cathedral Ward to Healing Church Workshop, Cathedral Ward to Old Yharnam, Cathedral Ward to Henrik Sharnel Lane, Cathedral Ward to Yarhagul Unseen Village, Cathedral Ward to Lecture Building, First Floor, Cathedral Ward to Hunter's Nightmare. General Notes: Hunter Chief Emblem. An important choice regarding how you want to proceed also need to be made, and it will have a significant impact on the order in which you encounter other areas. The plaza gate near the middle of the Cathedral Ward is locked, and the only ways to open it are by opening the switch on the other side, or by buying the Chief Hunter emblem from the Bath Messengers for 10,000 blood echoes. To reach the other side of the gate without parting with your blood echoes, you'll have to go to Old Yharnam and defeat the boss there. That will cause the side door of Odin Chapel to open, allowing you to enter the Healing Church Workshop. At the end of that area, you can drop down to the other side of Odin Chapel Gate, giving you access to the rest of the Cathedral Ward. If you buy the emblem, you can interact with the gate to open it. This gives you the option to explore all the Cathedral Ward, and even head straight to Henrik Sharnel Lane. Main Gate to Cathedral Plaza. Until you open this gate by either the Hunter Chief emblem or the lever, you cannot summon any cooperatives in Cathedral Ward. Also, Eileen the Crow will not appear outside Odin Chapel until you make Cathedral Plaza accessible. The Kidnapping Event. The small clearing just to the right-hand side of the chapel is where an event happens after you've defeated the boss in Old Yharnam. A new enemy called a Kidnapper will appear in the clearing, and at 2 other locations in Cathedral Ward. If one of these kidnappers kills you, you'll be taken to Yarhagul Unseen Village. It can be a difficult area, so it's recommended that you do not trigger the event until you have cleared Henrik Sharnel Lane and have upgraded your weapon further. Locked Door. At the end of Yharnam Path, guarded by Church Giant, Wrecking Ball, left to the chest with Blood Gem, there is an intricate door. It can never be operated, though. It is confirmed that it leads to the central Yharnam. At the end of the Great Bridge where you fought the Cleric Beast, Central Yharnam side wasn't made interactable, cutting off the possible shortcut somewhere in the development process. Bloody Crow of Cainhurst in Grand Cathedral, Blood Moon. The Bloody Crow of Cainhurst will be located in the Grand Cathedral, Blood Moon, as part of the Eileen the Crow quest. If you helped Eileen defeat Henrik, you'll find her wounded outside the Grand Cathedral. Proceed into the cathedral and defeat the Bloody Crow of Cainhurst. If you didn't help Eileen defeat Henrik, she will be waiting inside the Grand Cathedral and will attack you on sight. Defeating her yields the Crow Hunter badge and ends her quest. Sinister Bellringer, online. Bellringer is located up the ladder behind the Odin Chapel gate, where you find the numbing mist. When Bellringer woman is present, versus PvP invasions are possible. World changes. Enter Odin Chapel. When you enter Odin Chapel for the first time zones of the game shift from the day to evening, with new skyboxes and NPC quest progression. Insight. With 15 insight, church servants will become more powerful. With 40 insight, the creature attached to Odin Chapel is visible. With 50 insight, messengers around the lever for the main gate to Cathedral Plaza are visible. Vicar Amelia defeated. Interact with Lawrence's skull. Changes the time of day from evening to night. Gain access to the Grand Cathedral lamp. Learn the password for the door leading to the Forbidden Woods. World Notes. Cathedral Ward, Forbidden Woods route. A watchman of Björgenworth guards the gate with a password, the sacred adage of the Grand Cathedral. Cathedral Ward, Grand Cathedral, heir to the ritual of blood. Purveyor of ministration, place your head on the altar's sacred covering, and inscribe Master Lawrence's adage upon your flesh. Cathedral Ward, Blood Moon, Yarhargul Church. Ritual secret broken. Seek the nightmare newborn. Old Hunter summons. Old Hunter Henriette. Go straight from the Cathedral Ward lamp, up the stairs, through the gate. Must have unlocked gate. First to take this route, and she will be straight ahead, near the ladder leading up to the body with 6 numbing mists. There are a lot of enemies in this area, so unless you clear them out first, the two of you will have to get through a long fight to do so before you even get to Vicar Amelia. She cannot enter Odin Chapel itself. Requirement. 2 main gates have been opened in order to summon Henriette. Progression Guide. Buy the Hunter Chief emblem from the Bath Messenger in the Hunter Dream to skip Old Yharnam, Healing Church Workshop, and Yarhargul Unseen Village. Go to and complete Old Yharnam opens the door in the Odin Chapel that leads to the Healing Church Workshop. Go to and complete Healing Church Workshop requires completion of Old Yharnam. Go to and complete Hemwick Charnel Lane requires completion of Healing Church Workshop or purchasing of the Hunter Chief emblem. Kill Vicar Amelia and examine the altar in the Grand Cathedral to get the Forbidden Woods password requires completion of the Healing Church workshop or purchasing of the Hunter Chief emblem. After obtaining the Tonsil Stone, enter the Forbidden Woods and speak with any residential NPC before reaching Björgenworth. Go to the room at the end of the cliff and get caught by the false god's attack to access the lecture building first floor. Enemies. Regular enemies. Huntsman, torch and axe. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 21%. Silver bullets times 2, 10%. Molotov cocktail times 1, 5%. Huntsman, sickle, drops, blood vial times 1, 8%. Huntsman, cutlass, drops, blood vial times 2, 32%. Huntsman, pitchfork, drops, blood vial times 1, 8%. Huntsman, rifle, drops, quicksilver bullet times 3, 100%. Huntsman, rifle and cutlass, drops, quicksilver bullets times 3, 100%. Rabid dog, no drops. Carrion crow, drops. Pebble times 1, 6%. Pebble times 2, 3%. Antidote times 1, 1%. Church servant, cane, drops. Blood vial times 2, 19%. Blue elixir times 1, 1%. Church servant, cane and lantern, drops. Blood vial times 2, 21%. Quicksilver bullets times 3, 21%. Blue elixir times 1, 1%. Church servant, cane and pistol, drops. Quicksilver bullets times 3, 99%. Blue elixir times 1, 1%. Church servant, scythe, drops. Blood vial times 3, 42%. Blue elixir times 1, 1%. Church servant, crucifix, drops. Blood vial times 2, 21%. Quicksilver bullets times 3, 21%. Blue elixir times 1, 1%. Large huntsman, torch and spear, drops. Blood vial times 2, 79%. Bloodstone Shard times 1, 16%. Oil urn times 1, 5%. Large huntsman, plow, drops. Blood vial times 2, 79%. Bloodstone Shard times 1, 16%. Oil urn times 1, 5%. Wandering Nightmare, drops. Bloodstone Shard times 3. Twin Bloodstone Shard times 1. Strong enemies. Huntsman's Minion, brick, drops. Blood vial times 4, 5%. Blood vial times 2, 85%. Shining coins times 3, 5%. Shining coins times 2, 5%. Huntsman's Minion, statue, drops. Blood Vial times 4, 5%. Blood Vial times 2, 85%. Shining Coins times 3, 5%. Shining Coins times 2, 5%. Church Giant Axe drops. Blood Vial times 3, 54%. Bloodstone Shard times 1, 43%. Blue Elixir times 1, 3%. Church Giant Wrecking Ball drops. Blood Vial times 3, 54%. Bloodstone Shard times 1, 43%. Blue Elixir times 1, 3%. Brain Sucker drops. Quicksilver Bullets times 4, 25%. Quicksilver Bullets times 3, 70%. Shaman Bone Blade times 1, 5%. Executioner drops. Random Gem based on area times 1, 20%. Blood Vial times 4, 24%. Blood Vial times 3, 52%. Pungent Blood Cocktail times 1, 4%. Kidnapper drops. Twin Bloodstone Shards times 1, 30%. Bloodstone Shard times 2, 65%. Bolt Paper times 1, 5%. Hunter Enemies Yahar'gul Hunter, Tonitrus and Wooden Shield drops. Bolt Paper times 4, 100%. Yahar'gul Hunter, Rifle Spear, and Ludwig's Rifle drops. Quicksilver Bullets times 10, 100%. Item Treasures Madman's Knowledge times 1. Behind 3 carrion crows, around the corner from the base at the stairs leading to Odin Chapel Gate. Top hat and hunter garb set. The corpse surrounded by candles near Odin Chapel Well, where the amygdala's hand passes. Blood Vial times 6. Corpse on a pile of gravestones near the lower chapel path. Cold Blood Dew times 1. When approaching Lower Chapel Courtyard from Lower Chapel Path, it is on the right-hand side below the large statue. Molotov Cocktail times 4. When approaching Lower Chapel Courtyard from Lower Chapel Path, they are in the back corner on the right-hand side. Madman's Knowledge times 1. Upper floor of Lower Chapel, to the left of the lever. Madman's Knowledge times 1. Back wall on the ground floor of Lower Chapel. Bloodstone Shard times 2, right before stairway gate. Monocular. Yharnam Path, at the dead-end cliff past the carrion crows and Huntsman's Minion. Bloodstone Shard times 3. As you approach the Church Giant Wrecking Ball in Yharnam Path, under the tree near the carrion crow. Bloodstone Shard times 5. Against the fence overlooking the Great Bridge near the Church Giant Wrecking Ball in Yharnam Path. Tempering Blood Gemstone ×1. Follow Yharnam Path past the Church Giant Wrecking Ball and into the underground chamber. It is in a treasure chest at the end of the hall. Thick Cold Blood ×1. Follow the outside of the fence around Cathedral Plaza in the direction of Odin Chapel until you reach a dead end. Thick Cold Blood ×1. Same location as previous. Madman's Knowledge. Corpse in Cathedral Plaza. There are 4 other Madman's Knowledge scattered around the Cathedral Plaza. Twin Bloodstone Shards ×2. After the gate leading to Forbidden Woods route, in a pile of destructible boxes behind the brain sucker. Shining coins ×12. A corpse in the middle of the floor as you follow the Forbidden Woods route. Tempering Blood Gemstone, level 2 ×1. The altar above the circular stairs on Forbidden Woods route. Antidote ×1. Top of the circular stairs on Forbidden Woods route. Poison Knife ×12. On a pile of coffins near the steps leading into Foggy Alley. Black Church Set. An alcove halfway down Foggy Alley, on the same side as the narrow-minded man, near a sleeping huntsman. Poison Knife ×18. An alcove at the end of Foggy Alley, on the same side as the narrow-minded man. Blood Vial ×2. The raised pathway at the end of Foggy Alley, near the huntsman with the rifle. Thick Cold Blood ×1. Follow the raised pathway at the end of Foggy Alley all the way around instead of climbing the ladder. Quicksilver Bullets ×10. On the path from Rooftop View to Grand Cathedral, lower stairs, at the top of the second ladder. Thick Cold Blood ×1. In the corner of the wall at the base of Grand Cathedral, lower stairs, on the same side as the Rooftop View ladder. Thick Cold Blood ×1. In the corner of the wall at the base of the Grand Cathedral, lower stairs, on the same side as the lower opening to the gate to Cathedral Plaza. Wooden Shield at the base of Odin Chapel Gate, on the side leading to Odin Chapel. Numbing Mist ×6 at the top of the ladder near Odin Chapel Gate. Black Messenger Hat. Climb the ladder near Odin Chapel Gate and cross the rooftops. It is on the second building. Thick Cold Blood ×1. In the alcove between the stairs leading from Side Alley to Grand Cathedral Central Stairs. Blood Vial ×7. At the base of Grand Cathedral Central Stairs, by the church servant with the scythe. Bloodshot Eyeball ×1. On the path to Hemwick from Grand Cathedral, upper stairs, before the small steps leading down to the grass. Bold Hunter's Mark ×3. On the path to Hemwick from Grand Cathedral, upper stairs, against the pile of graves on the way to the cave entrance. Frenzied cold blood, ×1. On the path to Yharnam from Grand Cathedral upper stairs, drop down to the roof from the smaller building furthest from the long staircase. Twin Bloodstone Shards ×1. On the path to Yharnam from Grand Cathedral upper stairs, climb the hill instead of going through the caves, then drop down to the small bridge above the huntsmen with rifles. Lead elixir ×3. On the path to Yharnam from Grand Cathedral upper stairs, go inside the large church at the end of the pathway, and check the left-hand corner of the first room. Area highlights: bosses, Vicar Amelia. Enemies: huntsman, torch and axe; huntsman, sickle; huntsman, cutlass; huntsman, pitchfork; huntsman, rifle; rabid dog, carrion crow; church servant, cane; church servant, cane and lantern; church servant, cane and flame sprayer; church servant, cane and pistol; church servant, scythe; church servant, crucifix; large huntsman, torch and saw; large huntsman, plow; wandering nightmare; huntsman's minion, brick; huntsman's minion, statue; church giant, axe; church giant, wrecking ball; brain sucker; executioner; kidnapper; Yharnam hunter, tonitrus and wooden shield; Yharnam hunter, rifle spear and Ludwig's rifle. NPCs: Odin Chapel Dweller, Eileen the Crow; Alfred, Hunter of Vile Bloods; Ariana, Woman of the Night; Old Man. Important items: Bloodstone Shard, top hat, and hunter garb set; tempering blood gemstones; monocular; wooden shield; twin bloodstone shards; black messenger hat; bloodshot eyeball; black church set. Insight events: +1 insight, invisible false god grab; +1, encounter Vicar Amelia; +3, defeat Vicar Amelia.